Tomorrow's STEM Friday is sponsored by Bricks and Minifigs.
KidSmart is a local nonprofit that provides students with greater access to arts-rich education. Malbrough Jr., KidSmart Arts Integration Specialist, joins us to demonstrate how their program integrates STEM learning into their teaching, integrates art into STEM learning. You guys are always making things fun for the kiddos, and so explain to me what this is.
Okay, this is a simple activity of architecture and sculpture.
Yeah, and you're using gumdrops, which I know my kids would love, but we may not get to the bridge building.
Right, yeah.
Or what are these, like little gum?
Those are mini starbursts.
Oh, I didn't know they had mini starbursts. That's good information for me. Okay, so we've got toothpicks, and those are going to help us make different bridges. Is this teaching them about maybe the structural integrity of a bridge? Structural
integrity. When you're doing architecture and when you're making sculpture, one of the important things is to think of volume and how things relate to each other, but also how things balance. So if you're going to make a bridge, you want to make sure that the bridge is structurally sound and can carry the load of whatever is going to go across it. So you allow children to experiment with different types of soft candies and toothpicks to construct what they think would be an appropriate bridge, and let them experiment back and forth to see what actually works and what doesn't work.
Does this end up teaching you, I know we learned as kids, or we've even seen driving across our local bridges, some really interesting, sometimes you see arches, sometimes you see a lot of triangles, or looks like this, like the Crescent City Connection. And we know as adults, you maybe learn throughout school that those are actually some pretty strong things, but that's not necessarily intuitive. If I were a kid going to make a bridge, I might do something like this, like make it look like a road. So when you have a kid make something like this, then how do you teach them that this is maybe not quite?
Well, it's all about experimentation. Art and science are all about experimenting with different materials and different processes.
Sure.
And this allows the students to practice. This shape has squares, this one has triangles, this one has individual toothpicks, this has double toothpicks. So you let them play around with what structures they think will work intuitively, and then you correct them and you introduce them to other shapes and different processes and see what they come up with.
I have to imagine that a kid does an activity like this and it stays with them. They remember that the triangles were stronger or that two toothpicks across was stronger than one. And therefore the concept is really learned better when you integrate something fun like this into it.
Right, yeah, you give the children a fun way to experiment with concepts. So do you want to use these, or do you want to use these, or do you want to use something that's like a harder candy? So allowing students the opportunity to test different materials leads to fun experimentation, which is what you want to do in arts and in architecture.
Absolutely. All right, so you guys, for folks that don't know, KidSmart is this wonderful organization that is in our local public schools in both Orleans and Jefferson parishes. But if your school does not have KidSmart there yet, you can reach out, get your teachers or even your whole school kind of involved. And how do they do that?
They would reach out to us at kidsmart.org or reach out to us on social medias at KidSmartNola.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you want your kids to do fun stuff like this in their classrooms, you can reach out to them. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, as always, Shelby.